Hello. Um, we all admire being well put together, you know, being that person that looks good, and we generally mind what, the next person thinks. And for that reason, most of the time we admire people that have managed to be well put together. I must add that it takes discipline to be put together, to have achieved certain things. But in this case, I want to look at this being put together from another perspective. And this is a perspective of how much of yourself you're sacrificing to actually, you know, um, be put together. Or put in other words, how much of yourself you're giving away so that you can achieve that look, so that you can achieve what the environment expects of you, so that you can achieve what the social, academic, work, family, whatever religious environment expects of you. Maybe, you have had to change yourself, and it's possible that many of us change ourselves to fit in certain situations, especially for the teenagers where you're looking for acceptance. But it happens as well in the working space, in the office, that you have to speak a certain way, you have to walk a certain way. When I was a teenager, there were walking styles, that I wouldn't want to go there. There were walking styles, and people used to walk certain ways in order to fit in, to look well put together. So my question today is, are you well put together? But my interest is not into how well put together you are. My interest now is how much of yourself have you lost in the process of being put together. Maybe that is something we need to consider. How much am I living to make somebody else, to make somebody else think positively of me? I saw somewhere or heard someone say, I don't remember the reference, that, you spend your teenage years and your young life, young adult life, thinking that everybody is thinking about you and everybody is judging you. And therefore you do things in ways that look good in the eyes of other people. Then you grow old and then you realize nobody cared. That is one of the reasons for having this conversation with you. How much of yourself are you losing? How much of yourself have you lost as you try to get put together for the world? And my take on it is that there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance regarding how much you're willing to sacrifice, how much of yourself you're willing to sacrifice in order to, conform, in order to look a certain way, in order to be a certain thing. Now, I am not arguing that we shouldn't work for self-improvement. I am not arguing that we shouldn't, go to the gym, take that walk, run for ourselves. I think the point is, what is the reason for the things that you are doing? Are you putting yourself together for that other person? But if it is somebody that you care about, well, that's another story. Are you putting yourself together for the world? And as you put yourself together for the world, how much of yourself are you losing? I've heard one of the speakers from my country mention that, it is good to celebrate people that have fought for freedoms of our different countries and all that. But it is also important to factor the losses they went through, and he put a case in point of Nelson Mandela. And he said this gentleman fought for the independence of South Africa. But in the process, in the words of, this gentleman, Dr. Jacob Kinyanjui, he argued that, you could say that, one might say that he lost his family because he came back, and we all know what happened, and we have not also heard anything, from his children, at least nothing of greatness from his children at the continental or at the national level. And that shows you the impact of his sacrifice on his family. And it's the same thing as you try to achieve that thing that you're trying to achieve. What is the cost? We all love the glamour. We love to be in these nice places. And I am not saying that to look down upon being in nice places, look down upon glamour. You know, no one would appreciate, and not many appreciate receiving what more than you have deserved than myself. I have received more than I have deserved in my life. And I appreciate that and I accept it. And I'm not saying there haven't been certain sacrifices, but I'm just questioning myself and yourself. How much are you sacrificing in order to conform, in order to put yourself together? So all I'm calling for is balance. Balance yourself. Balance your family, your social life, your academic, your profession, everything together, whatever you do. Balance it together so that you don't, achieve a lot in this one part, especially in what is just personal achievement to you, and lose out in what is more important, and that would be, family, and that is what counts. It's not the rest of the things. When all is said and done and you've retired and you've gone back home, it's not the profession or your boss that is gonna matter. It's not all these other things. It is your family, it is your wife, your husband, your children that will be around you. No one will call you from the office for your information. You will be called by your wife, your husband, and all that. And it's important to take care of that as well. So as we put ourselves together, let's consider all these other factors. I know this is more of a rant than anything else, and there will be more of this, but let's just think together. Even as you critique this, think about it. Think about it. There's always something good to come out of these kind of conversations. It's not just speech. It's not just talking, but it's calling you to conversation, calling you to thinking, about your own life and the kind of things that you're having to do in order to look a certain way, in order to be well put together. Okay, thank you. Blessings. Bye.